Hi everyone, let's take a look at a question on functions. In this question, we are given two functions f and g and it's being defined as the following. Fx equal to x squared plus cx plus d with two unknowns, and gx is defined to be ln x. Part of the question says, given that the composite function gf exists, find an inequality involving c and d. Let me just write down the equation of the two functions here. Fx equal to x squared plus cx plus d. Domain is every real values. Gx will just be equal to ln x and the domain will be x greater than 0. In order for the composite function gf to exist, it must satisfy certain condition. And the condition is the range of the inner function must be a subset of the domain of the outer function. When I talk about inner function, means that this, for gf, the inner function will just be the f, and the outer function will be the g. For gf to exist, range of f must be subset or domain of g. In order to find out what is the range of f, I think the best way is just to illustrate this using a simple sketch. We know that for a function fx, it is a quadratic equation, and since the coefficient of x squared is positive, I know that this graph will just be a smiley curve. Right? It doesn't matter how we sketch the graph, we can just use a rough sketch, and just to illustrate the minimum point is at this particular area here. And what we are going to do to find that point, we can just do a simple completion of square. Let me just write down here x squared plus cx plus d. When I complete the square, I will get x plus c over 2 square plus d minus c square over 4. Therefore, I know that the coordinates of the minimum point will just be minus c over 2, d minus c square over 4. Let me just write down here d minus c square over 4 to infinity, and domain of g is defined to be from 0 to infinity. And in order for this particular range to be a subset of this, it means that this particular region must be fitted into this. For 0 to infinity, let me just draw a simple number line, 0 to infinity. In order for this to be fitted inside here, my value of d minus c squared over 4 must be always bigger than 0. Therefore, d minus c squared over 4 must be greater than 0. Simplifying this, I will get d greater than c squared over 4, or c squared will just be lesser than 4d. This will be my inequality for my first part of the question. Moving on, for the rest of the question, taking c to be 2 and d to be 4, write down an expression for gfx and find exactly the range of gf. To find the expression of gf, we know that it's a composite function, and gf means we will be taking the function of f to be put into the function of g. That means to say I will just need to replace this x with the entire function of f, which is the so-called inner function. Therefore, gfx will just be equal to ln x squared plus 2x plus 4, since I'm already given the values of c and d. And to find the range of a composite function, actually there are two ways of doing it. One is simply sketching the graph of a composite function. In this case, if I want to find the range, I'll just sketch out this function here with the correct domain to look at, and we can determine what will be the values of y it can take, that will be the range. But if I see the question saying that find exactly, this word exactly, that means to say I may suspect that if I were to sketch out this graph and use my GC to look at my range, the value probably will end up with a decimal answer. Chances are very high. So usually in this kind of situation, I'll prefer to use the second method. That is the so-called pasting method. Pasting method means I'll be using the range of f, because the range of f is like the output of f. And this output will be fed into g. And this range, right, will be like so-called mapped into the domain of g. I will need the graph of g in this scenario. Let me just draw down the graph of gx here first. The graph of gx is a ln x graph. Let me just write down the values here, 1. And domain range of f, right, we know that it will just be subbing the values of d to be 4, c to be 2 inside. By subbing in, right, let me just write down the values. 4 minus 2 squared over 4, I'll end up to be 3. Therefore, I know that my range of f will be from 3 to infinity. This range will be fed into the domain of this outer function, which is my g. I will be pasting 3 to infinity here. By looking at this new domain, I will just look at what is the new range that it takes. That new range that it takes, right, will just be the range of the composite function. Subbing 3 into my function of ln x, I'll get ln 3. This is inclusive. The part of the graph I want to analyze, will this be this particular region here? From here, I can just observe that the range of this composite function will just be from ln 3 to infinity. Therefore, range of composite function will just be from inclusive for ln 3 all the way to infinity. For part 3 of the question, it says that the graph of the function h is symmetrical about the line x equal to k if you are given this expression here. And when they give you this type of definition here, actually we don't really need to try to understand how is it possible or how to why the relation holds in this case. Basically, we just need to follow the instruction, and as long as we can show this particular expression here from the left hand side of this equation equal to the right hand side of this equation, then I will be able to show that this graph will be symmetrical about line x equal to k. We don't really need to go into the details why is it so. For this case, and they want us to use this particular definition to show that the graph of gf is symmetrical about the line x equal to minus 1. I will just replace the function of h will just be gf. It still works. Let me just erase this part first. For the definition, when I replace my h with gx, you will end up with gf x minus 1 equal to gf minus x minus 1, replacing the k with minus 1. I just need to prove the left hand side equal to right hand side. And the function of gf, we already have this already. I may suggest we do one additional step. That means is to complete the square of this. By completing the square of this, I will be able to get ln x plus 1 square plus 3. It's not really necessary, it's optional, but because I observed that I need to sub in the value of x minus 1. And if I sub in x minus 1 inside here, I think it can make the simplification much more simpler. Although, if you don't want to do that, you can stick to this, it's fine. Therefore, left hand side, I will be able to get ln, replacing the x here with x minus 1, I'll get x squared plus 3. And for the right hand side, similarly, replacing the x with minus x minus 1, I'll be able to get minus x whole thing squared plus 3 equal to x squared plus 3. So therefore, left hand side equal to right hand side. Once we have proved this definition, we have fulfilled this requirement already, then we can come to the conclusion that the graph of GF will also be symmetrical about the line x equal to minus 1. Therefore, GF is symmetrical about x equal to minus 1. Right, that will be the answer for my part 3 of the question.